I've actually had a good idea for a good lawyer test. Okay, so Andrew Tate is going to face trial. He's in house arrest and stuff. It would be ideal if behind closed doors you write to a whole bunch of lawyers all over the world and say that his lawyer has pulled out, but they haven't gone public by anything yet, and he's looking for a new lawyer. And say the claims, say that he's out to try and get no punishment in any way. He wants to override it. Say he's going to give a huge amount of money, and it's negotiable, and then just see who takes the bait. I think with the amount of evidence that there is with him saying that I did this, I didn't pay. I didn't pay taxes. I didn't pay. There was a car that I wasn't allowed to park a car in a certain area, and I just left it there for 4 days, knowing that each day I was just getting more and more tickets, and I was just planning on just taking the car back and not paying. Him confessing to strangling women and enjoying it, or enjoying the fact that they didn't like it. I don't know. With all that evidence there, it would be an interesting he would be an interesting bait to see how many people would be willing to take on his case and help him get zero jail time. I mean, they might take the bait because they know that he's going to get jail time, but are just wanting to take the money. But yeah, how many lawyers would actually respond back to him? Yes, we can help you get out of jail and do this. I mean, maybe they're just bullshitting. So I feel like the test needs to be a little bit deeper to find out what their plan is to get him to just lie in court or something. I don't know, but. The thing is, there must be so many court cases where people have just lied through their teeth. So the governments must know who the corrupt lawyers are. How many lawyers have there been that someone deserves to go to prison for 2 years and instead, okay, I can understand if someone's trying to get someone into prison for 10 years and you think that the crime, okay, is bad, but it's like a sort of 1-2 year sentence. Hence, you're trying to make it as little as possible because you don't want them to get the 10-year sentence. But yeah, it's another thing to just try and pretend that this person is completely innocent, or just, that they're... Although I do know with the Andrew Tate, there is a chance, because he's such a liar, there is a chance that maybe he's been bragging about committing all these crimes just because he likes lying, and so there is a small chance that maybe he's not, if you say, oh, I've been with this girl for 6 years, sometimes you like to boast about how long you've been with them, which would mean that they've been together since they were 16. But yeah, there is a chance that maybe they were only together for 5 years or 4 years, and she's just exaggerated how long they've been together to make their bond seem even better than it actually is. Although I'm pretty sure it was probably better than, well, it was strong on her part, and why it was strong doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if lawyers would get involved in my case. It would be interesting to see what would happen in my case, because I'm Christ, I'm God. If someone wants to blame me for 9/11 and say that Aaliyah died, 11 days after that, and I'm claiming to be her, and I've got evidence or proof that backs it up through inspiring songs, I wonder how many lawyers be willing to sue me for things. I don't think anyone would do that, though. I think they'd be too scared to sue me. That's the thing. If someone is claiming to be Christ and has lots of evidence, I feel like lawyers would be like, yeah, I don't want to take this case on. But if someone like Andrew Tate, they might think that they might think they can help him by just saying, oh, he was just lying about all these crimes that he committed to make himself seem cool or something. I don't know. It's a very stupid thing to do if that is what he did. But yeah, it might be hard for me to do a test on lawyers to see who would sue me over this. But yeah, I don't know how I don't know how it would how you could get lawyers involved in my case, because my taste is basically just to see the test that I was planning on setting up, whether it be, I don't know if it's going to be next year, it might be the year after, might be the year after that, I don't know, because I know I need time to recover and I need time to trust people, and I know that I don't want to do that kind of test, the fake test that I was planning on setting up on me. I wouldn't want to do it if I was 40 or over, because I'd feel like that's just too old to be getting involved in something like this, in a sort of fake rape situation where it looks like lots of singers and celebrities, famous people who don't need to get involved in this, but at the same time, it's kind of funny because if you start saying that the only reason why they had the inspiration for their songs was because of this act, and then you encourage people to vote, they'll be voting. That would be something like that would be to expose just how sick people are. But yeah, lawyers are smarter than that, and therefore they're not going to get involved in if they think I'm God or Christ, because I'm claiming that, and other people are claiming that I'm Christ, and other people are trying to sue me for, I don't know, doing things like 9/11 or something. There's a whole bunch of criminal acts that you could say that I'm responsible, because you won't say that I'm God. You will say that I'm Babylon. You'll say that I'm Jezebel. You can say that all sexual acts are kind of been inspired by me or something like that. I don't think that's the truth, but if there was to be, if I was to claim this and actually get onto the public stage, there might be a lot of people that believe this, but there also might be a lot of people that would be very scared of the power that I have. So lawyers might not want to get involved in turning against me, but I don't know. This world is so awful. I feel like there's just a huge number of people here that just have no connection or no spiritual connection to me, but a lot of them would claim that they do. And this world is terrible. And which lawyers, if someone is saying that I'm responsible for doing things, if I'm the devil and I'm inspiring whatever their crime is, how many of them would be able to convince lawyers to sue me for certain things? I don't think lawyers would get. I just feel like lawyers would be too smart to get involved in this. But I don't know. I don't know how it would play out. I want to know more, but first I need to know how many people will be on my side. If I say that I'm the real Christ, how long would it take people to believe this? That there's a possibility that if I expose myself June the 13th, or if you expose that on June 13th that Christ is here, and then on 1st of July I say that I'm Christ, and then on August 14th I say that I'm Dala, and then just let that news settle for a year. That's a possibility while I recover a bit better. I don't know when you're planning on coming and talking to me, but you've been ignoring me for 11 years and I've had nowhere to go, or I can't seek any help because everyone just feels like robots, and robots that are designed to just not believe me until a specific day. And if people would say why Cassie and Diddy were together, Cassie and Diddy were together for apparently 11 years, and there was supposed to be abuse throughout that relationship, but people might ask, why didn't Cassie seek help? Well, because Cassie was getting a nice big house. Cassie was getting, film. She was going places and doing things, and there might have been abuse, but there also might have been, a lot of things to gain. But with me, I'm not gaining anything. But I'm also, I don't have anyone to blame. Who would I blame? I know that I'm Christ. I know that I'm God. I'm not hiding this. I'm not keeping this a secret. I'm making videos every day trying to get people to believe me. No one's taking an interest. No one's caring. I would sue the singers and celebrities, but I don't know which ones actually know about me. So and which ones are just spiritually linking to me and making me think that they know about me because of me saying things, and then looking on their Instagram page and it's sort of linking to what I'm saying, but at the same time it's like, was this the spirit that did this, or have they looked at my posts? I don't know. My YouTube videos are not getting any hits, so I can't prove that people are watching my videos through that. And I'm not even convinced that anyone's watching these videos. Maybe they've got my page on complete shutdown, lockdown, and they're just controlling the hits according to what they want me to think. That number of people are watching them, and I don't know. I know some people are coming across them, but I don't know. I really, I don't know how long I'm going to be ignored for, so I can't make plans. I can make the dates. I know the dates because I know the singers' birthdays, and they've been born on that same day. And I was thinking the rest should be on like the day before the sacrifice, but then I think actually that's not the real, because if the marriage is going to be the fake marriage between me and Satan, me and a sort of fictional character or some stuffed toy that looks like Satan, or The Rock dressed up as Satan, that should happen on September the 5th. and then I feel like there should be like a kind of period where everything seems fine, and then I need to get kind of arrested. And because Aditi was arrested on September the 16th, and that's like a week, exactly 7 days before September the 23rd, I feel like September the 16th is probably the best day for me to be arrested, because it's the day before Angel of Truth. So maybe I should meet her, but I could meet her in like some sort of prison cell or some FBI alien specific prison cell. I don't know how that would be. I mean, it could be in the same place that I was filming the first stage, but just in a sort of underground facility, and you can say that it's just somewhere else. I don't know what the plan is. I know that there is a plan, and I know I can't get people to believe, or people that come across my videos, I can't get them to believe. But yeah, lawyers are people that I would want to attack, but I understand why someone would be a corrupt lawyer. You know, this world is full of corruption, and if someone gets put in prison for 10 years for a crime that someone suffered for like half an hour, and okay, maybe it's maybe changed their life a little bit because they have that horrible memory, but yeah, putting someone into jail for 10 years is such a huge thing. And if someone's gone through that, maybe in a past life even, you know, they might be wanting to be a corrupt lawyer now. Why? Because they don't want others to go through the same injustice where they've done something wrong, and then they get just a huge amount of, you know, I think more people in jail, but for for shorter periods of time would be a better thing. You know, instead of making huge amounts about these court hearings, you know, there are quite a lot of court hearings, but some of these court hearings you have to wait a year for it to go to court, and I think people need to look at the crime, think how many months does he actually deserve, and if it is for just a year or two, you know, bring forth the evidence, get him in a year or two, and then get them out. And if there's more and more people coming in and out, so instead of, you know, I don't know how many people are in prison each year. A million? Is there a million people in prison in America each year? I don't know. But instead of having a million people in prison for like 10 years, just aim to have like 10 million people in prison, but for 1 or 2 years, and do something with the prosecution so that there's less of a build-up and more of a just, you know, this is the evidence, here's the proof that you did it, what do you think? Okay, he's got it, 2 years in prison, like I feel like that would be a much better system, where shorter sentences but far more likely to get convicted, because you know, because I feel like a lot of trials don't, you know, they say, I don't know what the percentage is, but there's a high percentage of people that claim to be raped, you know, never even make it to court. And I feel like the reason why this is happening is because when someone is convicted of it, they get a huge sentence, and because of this, you know, threat, you know, a victim doesn't really want the person that abused them to go to jail for such a long time. Most of them just want, you know, a year or two, but because it takes so long for these courts to get up, it might cost a huge amount of money in lawyer fees to get these courts, you know, so much money goes into this that a lot of these cases just get I give up on them, you know, and therefore a lot of people that are criminals don't actually get prosecuted, because the effort of having to go to one of these courts is sometimes too big, that it's too much of a challenge. And I think if you were to create a proper society, you know, you look to see that the crimes that have been committed, and then you knock it on the head as soon as you can. This person, you know, with the Jeffrey Epstein case, you know, more and more cases kept happening of 17-year-olds getting into massage and then into prostitution. I mean, this is technically a normal thing for masseuses. Most masseuses get these offers, and if you're working with lots of rich people, you're going to get higher offers. But if this would have just, you know, been reported at the beginning and gone to trial, he would have gone to jail for a couple of months for encouraging 17-year-olds to get into prostitution, and you know, the case wouldn't have. It was like there was a big weight of nothing, and then suddenly it blew up, and I think it's highly likely that he was murdered rather than committed suicide. So I just, everything in the court systems is wrong, because it affects the few, when really there could be a huge number of people committing the exact same crime. You know, there's a huge number of people that would see a masseuse and maybe think, oh, they're a bit young maybe, but I'm still going to offer them money for sex. You know, the number of people that would offer money to a masseuse for sex. You know, I've been working as a masseuse. I had been working as a masseuse for a long time, and a lot of people would offer me money. Okay, most of this was like £200-300, but yeah, to think that there's a lot of people that think, oh, all these people would be put in prison, when really the number of people that would offer money for that kind of service is massive. But you can't have the build up of taking all these people to trial. But if you just have lots of smaller courts where you just take the more serious cases, and then just have a quick trial, give them a couple of months, and you know, there's a better way of doing it. And I know prisons do make a huge amount of money from keeping inmates in there, so having longer sentences is good for them, but it shouldn't be about that, because I think part of this prison service is actually making money from the lawyers making money off putting guilty people in prison for extended long periods of time, and part of their they're making lawyers are making money out of this business. And sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, because sometimes bad people do definitely go in there. But I feel like a lot of this is it's just money. It's just people throwing about money, and they're not thinking about, is this actually right? Is this actually... there needs to be a new world where people are focusing on, is this right? Is this the best way to handle it? Does there really need to be a huge long court with huge amounts of jury, when really he probably should just go to prison for 6 months, and it should be like wiped clean, or not wiped clean, but put on a record, so that he's warned that if he does it again, it's going to be like 2 years next time. You know, something like this. You know, I'm sure the victim might be like, that's not fair, but I'm not convinced that the victim understands how horrible it is to be in a prison and to have everything taken away from you. And